Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dan, and I'm back with another week of the MDL. This week we are going up against Johnny, and he always brings very interesting teams. So my plan this week was to lead Sableye and probably Silvally with a good max option in the back. I use Sableye and Silvally to counter it and determine what it is, and then hopefully clean up with something in the back. So yeah. I didn't really want to put too much time or thought into this because I just over-prepped for something that he doesn't bring, so just went pretty straight ahead, and I'm not going to bring Zamazenta to game one. I'm going to bring Primarina and Kyurem, which will give me two options. Primarina if he's going for Trick Room stuff with Rhyperior, Kyurem is going to be better if he goes for offensive Thunderous stuff. But yeah, we're just going to hop into the game here and see what his lead is. It also happens to be my birthday today, and this is also the day I played, so very, very busy day. Alright, first of all, haven't seen his trainer card before. Awesome trainer card. And we are diving into it in the Rooftop Stadium. We've got Marshadow and Gothitelle. So Gothitelle is interesting. Gothitelle has potential fake out pressure, I believe, and a fake out and attack into the Silvally would let him KO the Silvally next turn without me being able to set Tailwind. And based on this lead, I do want to set Tailwind. So I just kind of want to protect the Silvally, and then I'm just going to go for a burn into the Marshadow to reduce its damage potential. And then I'll be able to get up Tailwind next turn, and then roll from there. At least that's the plan. So what actually ends up happening here is that, man, I forgot how long he took to lock in his move this time. Is that the Silvally will get the Protect off, then we'll see Ally switch out of Gothitelle, which is a little frustrating since I'll burn the Gothitelle instead of the Marshadow, but Marshadow doesn't max, so it'll really just put me in a slightly better position for next turn, because I'll just take some damage into Sableye if he attacks that way. And now I just get to set Tailwind, and he has to decide if he wants to Ally switch again or if he wants to do something else. I consider encoring the Ally switch, or Willow. So my options here are Encore the Ally switch, Will-O-Wisp the Marshadow slot again, or Taunt the Gothitelle slot. I guess I could even Quash the Marshadow slot, but this feels most right. Alright, so Will-O-Wisp connects again. I guess we're going to see how well my team functions if Will-O-Wisp actually hits this set. Marshadow's not going to do a lot of damage. Spectral Sleeve comes on out. It will be just enough to KO the Sableye even while burned, which is good for me because I get a free switch in with Tailwind set. And I get a Future Sight to come out. So I'm okay with that. This is a really bulky Silvally this week. So based on these two things that are out, I think Primarina looks like the stronger option for me. Because I haven't seen the Thunderous, although he hasn't maxed anything. Thunderous could be in the back. The Walk-In Berry will be okay, but this will let me set up the Rain, and then I'll actually be threatening the Thunderous. So Primarina just seems slightly better than Kyurem, because if he has, for example, Rhyperior in the back, I definitely want the Primarina, and if he has Thunderous, I'd slightly prefer the Kyurem, but Primarina's not horrible in that situation. So one thing I definitely want to avoid is Trick Room, going up, so I'm very strongly considering just ignoring the Marshadow and doubling into the Gothitelle to make sure that it goes down before Trick Room can go up. And that honestly doesn't sound like a bad option to me, because if Trick Room doesn't go up and I'm under Tailwind, I should just win. But I don't think this Max Geyser does it by itself, so I am going to double it. Pre-Marina also speed creeps max speed Marshadow if I'm under Tailwind. So I do see the Thunderous, okay. I will have one turn of speed creep on the Thunderous as well, and I'll be in rain, so I will do a lot of damage to it. But I do get to max Pre-Marina again. This thing was great last season. Let's see if it functions for me some this week. And Ally Switch. So, Thunderous is about to have a real bad day. And now I'm very happy that Pre-Marina is in, because I've both set Rain and gotten rid of the Thunderous. So now, I get to see what his last Pokemon in the back is. And depending on what it is will depend on if I'm afraid of Trick Room or not here. I still probably go for the Gothitelle, but and it is his Rhyperior Bertha, so that thing I feel like his play here has to be max guard and try to set Trick Room, and I really don't want to let Trick Room go up, so I think I double into the Gothitelle again, although max Geyser by itself might KO it, in which case a attack into the Rhyperior for a little chip if it doesn't protect isn't horrible, but I'd rather guarantee the Gothitelle than risk that the Gothitelle gets an attack off. So here, I'm pretty sure he's going to be max guarding, because if he isn't, that's big risk, because the easy play for me is to max Geyser the Rhyperior slot. And we do see that it's maxing. And it does not actually max guard here. So I could have just won this turn if I attacked into it. But I do stop Trick Room from going up with this multi-attack. And then with that berry, I'm like, I hope Geyser gets it. I think it does from this range, but I'll launch a Geyser, and it'll go down. Here, a max Rockfall will come out, and this not only takes away the rain, but it also provides the special defense boost that comes with sand. So now if this is a solid rock Rhyperior, with, you know, a moderate amount of bulk, less than, it doesn't need full bulk on it, just a moderate amount of bulk. I think if it has 68 HP EVs, this doesn't necessarily KO it. So, if it's solid rock. If it's not solid rock, this will always KO anyway. But I think I force him to max guard here because I'm threatening the Marshadow as well. And my Tailwind's about to expire, but this will kill the Marshadow, and then even if it activates a weakness policy and doesn't kill this Rhyperior, it will be low enough that the combination of Silvally and Kyurem will be able to kill it. Just gonna target into the Marshadow because he didn't intimidate me this game. He didn't bring him on top, which is shocking. Goes for Feint to get a little chip off. And He has a Rosalie Berry. Okay, so that's interesting. So this actually gives him an opening this game if I don't pick up the KO here. It's a very small opening, but one exists. And down goes Bertha. So that wasn't a crit, so this is either not Solid Rock or running almost like no HP investment, both of which seem like odd choices to me. It's not like I have a great Electrica type I'm threatening everything with. But now it's just a 3v1 on a burned Marshadow. I win here, I kind of want to preserve differential, so I considered not revealing Protect on Primarina, but you know, the differential is important enough for me at this point in the stage, at this point in the season, that I'm okay with this information being out. And I also want to think that I could protect Primarina at any time, because while it's maxed, I'm not super likely to in this particular matchup, but the thought that I could affect his targeting to some extent. Spectral Thief goes into Protect. I don't even know if that KOs with the burn, but easy preservation and a clean 3-0. So yeah, that was game number 1, and I will be right back around for game number 2. So moving into game 2, I like that generalized game plan again, because I don't think he has a good way to actually stop the Tailwind from going up. And if he goes for something that looks like it could be Trick Room, I can play around Trick Room pretty well as well, because Sableye Quash is a very effective Trick Room move. But the Savali's going to come out, Primarina in the back makes sense again, and then I think that he's likely to pivot to getting the Thunderous in a better position, seeing that the Rhyperior is just going to get one shot by the Primarina even in sand. So I need Kyurem again. So I'm not bringing Zamazenta to this game either. Yeah, so I could see him going for much more consistent answers to the Primarina, and I think that Roserade is actually one that I'm a little concerned about. The Thunderous, a bit concerned about, but because I've got the Walkenberry a bit less, especially if I'm able to get Tailwind up or get it next to Sableye with Quash. But yeah, very, very interesting matchup to think through here. Alright, so as we are hopping into the battle, we're going to see that he's completely changed up his lead, and he is going for the Roserade and the Thunderous. So, my thought here is that I want Tailwind up, and I assume a double target into Savali is coming. I know that Savali survives anything that Life Orb, Adamant, Max Thunderous throws at it, but I don't know if I survive something from this Roserade, especially a poison type attack. So, in order to maximize the odds of getting this Tailwind up, I want to Quash one of them, and the Roserade seems like a better option to Quash, and then that way I will guarantee get one Tailwind with Savali before it goes down. And if Savali goes down after getting a Tailwind up, and I get in Kyurem in this position, which it's definitely Kyurem and not Primarina, I think that's really good for me. So he is maxing. Expect Big Thunderous to come on out, but no, it's the Flower Power thing. So I'm kind of glad I quashed this, because I don't know exactly what it's doing. And Thunderous goes for Nasty Plot. This couldn't really be better for me, because I can just Encore that Nasty Plot, and it's not like he can do anything about it. Max Ooze comes on out, And that just straight takes out the Savali. So Kyurem comes in for free, under Tailwind. And only one side of his field's going to do anything. I apologize for any banging in the background. My lovely wife is actually in the process of baking me a cake, so it is very, very good day for me. But Kyurem will come on out. And this is just an easy Encore, and then Max. I consider going for an Airstream to have long-term speed advantage, but I don't know if that'll KO the Rose Raid, and I'm fairly certain Hailstorm will at this point. So Hailstorm makes a lot of sense here. Max is coming on out. I don't think I play on this stadium too often. Interesting. But first thing first, I get to Encore this Thundurus. And then I'll also learn that the Thundurus is Prankster because it'll go right here. Which, I mean, makes sense for a special Thundurus. And yeah, this is a dead Rose Raid. So overall, this game is going very well for me. His Max is gone. I have Tailwind up. His Thundurus is locked into nasty plotting for the next couple of turns. And I've got a Max Kyurem with 2 more turns of Max available. So yeah, we just have to see what he's going to send on out. If it is the Rhyperior, I probably need to target the Thundurus down because I don't want to accidentally give him a weakness policy boost. It's functionally very easy to just burn Rhyperior and kill Thundurus here. And that's what I'm going to end up doing. I do consider doubling into the Rhyperior here as well, and working on Thundurus next turn, but this will cover for nonsense. Wisp connects. Burned, and Thundurus is forced into another priority nasty plot. It's up to +6 by now. And it won't matter. He does have Yachi Berry, which is interesting. But he will go down anyway from the Max Kyurem. Alright, Rock Slide comes out, it's burned, it's not going to do a lot, that's fine. Alright, now I've just got to figure out how not to do something stupid these last couple turns. And the Mr. Mime comes out. Okay, so Mr. Mime doing something stupid is how he wins, or Mr. Mime surviving and hitting something harder than it should. So, it just seems really easy to taunt it, only let it attack. He's not picking up the Cure on this turn, and I can Steel Spike it, and then I'm going to still take no damage from these Rock Slides, because I'll have the defense boost. Rhyperior even protects there, so pretty free taunt and Steel Spike. And this is the third resist berry I've attacked into, this time the Steel Resist berry on the Mr. Mime. So good prep with the resist berries. But this is pretty much going to be game over at this point. Dazzling Gleam comes on out, it'll kill the Sableye. Kyurem still has way too much health. And I get to bring under Primarina now. My Tailwind is gone, so the Mr. Mime could be faster than the Primarina, but the Rhyperior isn't. So the easiest play here, because Mr. Mime can't protect, is just Iron Head it. It'll go down without the berry, and then Hyper Voice, and that should wrap it up for me. So yeah, really fun set of games with Johnny, always interesting to prep against, so I just sort of took the amorphous, try to be able to cover a bunch of different things route, as opposed to something super specific this week, and it ended up working, but good games. Thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.